Hi folks, and Camila Folcha. In this beautiful sunny day, I want to bring a bit of a hot topic online, which is the twin pipe Akra, specifically the sound coming out of it. There's a lot of people that are not too happy about it, and there's a few DIY solutions out there on how to fix or how to improve the sound. Removing the baffle or the cone, and also installing the ESE from Healtech. I tested all the solutions and I want to give you the facts and my personal opinions, making sure that you know the difference between the two. So let's get right into it. First of all, let's talk about the facts about the twin pipe Akra. And no, I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce the full name. But anyways, fact number one. This is a beautifully made exhaust. Premium materials, carbon fiber, titanium, etc. Right? The quality of the Akras is fantastic, and this one is no less. Second fact is either if you spec it when you're buying your bike, or if you want to get it out of the BMW catalog after the fact, it will cost you around €1,000. Fact number three, this exhaust is Euro 5 Plus compliant. Fact number four, there is no user removable baffles. What I mean by that is that you cannot take a screwdriver or an Allen key, remove the bolt, and then take out the baffles, as we used to be able to do so on previous exhausts. And again, this is part of the regulations that the baffle cannot be removed to change either the sound or the emissions out of the exhaust. Now let's talk about my own personal opinions. I think it looks absolutely brilliant. It's a beautiful, beautiful exhaust. And again, the quality, the design, everything, I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. Which again, is a little bit of letdown because of my next two opinions. First one, it lacks character. When you're riding, you don't get that little bit of kind of rough sound out of the boxer engine that we used to get on the 1250s or even the 1200s before with this type of exhaust. Also, in my opinion, I think it's too quiet. Not even it doesn't have character, you can barely hear it when you're riding. Especially me, I do wear earplugs, and you should too, but with this one, again, lack of character, it doesn't sound like much. I think I'm not the only one thinking this, but let's get a little bit more into it. More facts. Is there a baffle inside the exhaust? Yes, there is. This is the baffle or cone that lives inside the exhaust. Now, due to the Euro 5 Plus regulations, this is not removable. You can remove it, but it's not removable by a user per se. So like I said before, you cannot just take a screw and pull it out. This one does take a lot of effort, if not a little bit of fabrication skills, right, to take it out. As you can see, I'll definitely give you a close-up. I have drilled all the weld points, and once you remove all the weld points by drilling them, then you have to pull it out, right? So you do have to spend a couple hours actually, you know, between drilling, pulling and everything. And after the fact, because I did drill all the welds, I did have to go out and weld them back on, so obviously it won't leak everywhere. Some other folks will go from the inside of the exhaust and with a Dremel or something like that, chop all the welds on the inside and then just destroy this thing, just mangle it and take it out. Because I wasn't too sure if it was going to make a difference or not, I went for the more gentle approach, if you will, right? Which could be a bit more time consuming. But yeah, I took it out, it exists. There is a baffle, you can remove it with a lot of effort, but it is a fact. Now, the question is, does this make a difference in sound? Yes, it does. Does this make a difference on the flow of the gases or the back pressure of the exhaust? Yes, it does as well. Those are facts. The question then becomes is by how much, and is it worth all the effort? Here's my opinion. While it does change the tone a little bit and the volume a fraction of a decibel maybe, I don't think it is worth the effort to remove the baffle. Yes, it will sound a little bit better on cameras, and in person it does sound a little bit louder, but once you get riding, I don't think it makes any noticeable difference, especially not after all this effort and potentially killing the resale value of your exhaust. So if you ask me, don't bother with this. Behind door number 3, we have the Healtech ESE or Exhaust Servo Eliminator. Now, before we deep dive on what it does and if it actually makes a difference on sound, we need to talk about the exhaust valve itself, right? So the whole concept of the exhaust valve was invented by Yamaha back in 1987, first introduced on the FXR 400, which was only for the Japanese market. But then in 1989, Yamaha came up with the FXR 1000, and that one had what they call the X-Up. And the whole reason for this invention is relatively simple, right? You close the valve on the exhaust, you slow down all those gases, create a little bit more of back pressure, and with that, you increase the low down torque output of the engine. Torque is basically the power down low, and horsepower is the power that you get up on the higher range, on a very simplified explanation, right? Now, as you can imagine, back in 1987 or 89, Yamaha's intent was never around emissions or that kind of stuff, right? Fast forward 30 plus years, of course, the technology is not only being leveraged for more efficiency and power, but also to comply with emissions, right? In conjunction with catalytic converters, O2 sensors, the ECU, throttle positions, etc., right? The whole thing in conjunction helps to create, again, better emissions and more efficiency with power and fuel consumption. Now, a lot of people think that the exhaust valve is the devil and it's there to actually go out and kill all your power. And that cannot be further from the truth. Like I said, the whole design is to close the valve, generate more back pressure, giving you more torque, more fuel efficiency, and then as soon as it treats the throttle, RPM rises up and everything, the valve will open. It's actually not an on-off valve either, right? So depending on throttle position, engine load, etc., the valve will change positions, right, gradually, 30%, 40%, 60, 80, until you're wide open, and then the valve will be absolutely wide open, no problem whatsoever. All the gases will go through and it will create zero restrictions through the whole system. Now, while the technology is great and definitely has a lot of benefits, it does bring some little bit of downsides to the whole system. And again, this is my own personal opinion. Of course, you do have yet another mechanical part, right, with the exhaust valve. And in most bikes, the whole valve is pretty hidden down on the whole exhaust system. In the GSs, for example, you not only have the valve, but you also have the servo motor and a couple of cables, right, that help open and closing the valve. I had 2 GSs before this one, and on both of them, I have to a couple of times go out, remove the exhaust, and spend quite a bit of time. They do tend to rust a little bit, right, so the valve actually can get stuck. And eventually, depending on if it is stuck on the closed position or the open position, it can either kill your horsepower or your low-end torque, right? Like I mentioned before. So the technology is beautiful, but it's not the easiest to maintain, and not a lot of people are aware that you do have to maintain the valve. So have that in mind whenever you're doing your services and whatever, right? If you're doing them yourself, make sure that you remove the baffle, right? It's just the last end of the exhaust, and make sure that you throw some type of lube, grease up the cables, of course, right? The cables will also tend to rust because they are steel cables. So those are the things that you have to have in mind, and technically the only downside about the whole exhaust valve system. So if the exhaust valve works well and has a lot of benefits, why does this even exist? Is it a snake oil or anything like that? No, and these are facts. The Healtech ESE is not meant to make the exhaust louder or anything like that. The reason why this exists is if you want to remove the valve altogether. Why would you do that? Normally because you are thinking about replacing the headers and you are trying to eliminate not the valve itself, but the problem before the valve itself, right? Which is, of course, catalytic converters, restriction, all are gonna adjust that comes with the Euro 5 Plus regulations, right? So if you go through that route, you'll need, of course, new headers, something that is more free-flowing. So if you see my video on the Black Widow headers, you can see the comparison, right? From something straight through, no restrictions, nothing in between, and the massive box that these bikes come with. Again, that's all meant for Euro 5 Plus restrictions. If you don't care about any of that, you put headers, you tune your bike, you do new fuel mappings, etc., right? And then whatever back pressure or anything that the valve will give you, then you replace that with tuning and everything like that. Things that are, of course, well outside the Euro 5 plus regulations and emissions and all that kind of jazz, right? More fuel, more timing, right? Get more power out of the bike, which is a completely different conversation to what we're talking about here, which is trying to get a little bit more sound out of the twin pipe Akra. So those are the facts. The Healtech ESE or Exhaust Servo Eliminator does exactly what it says on the tin. They never promise more power, they never promise more sound out of the twin pipe Akra or any other muffler, whatever. The thing has been designed to eliminate the servo motor or the exhaust valve, and this thing does exactly that. And why would you need that? Is to avoid issues with the ECU. Like I mentioned before, the exhaust valve works in conjunction with throttle position sensor, O2 sensors, ECU, etc., right? So if the ECU can't sense the servo motor anymore, it will throw up an error. It might put the bike on limp mode, so you have no power whatsoever. It creates a bunch of issues. So if you put headers, you'll need one of these to make the ECU believe that the servo motor is still there and again work as intended, no problem whatsoever. So here's my opinion. Will you get more sound out of your twin pipe Akra if you install one of these? Yes, but no. So at lower RPMs where the valve is closed, if you have the valve obviously working, then yes, by opening up the valve, you will create more sound or more volume at lower RPM, but only at lower RPMs. So if you think about it, you do have a little bit more sound, but you also are losing low end torque. If you start up your GS, you'll hear the first startup that it goes like, right? It just comes alive. It's very loud at the beginning. That's because the valve is fully open, right? Just to allow the startup. Then as the RPMs start going down, the valve will slowly close, and then you can definitely hear it, how the volume actually goes down. And that's because the valve is actually closing, and then now you have a bit more of a quicker warm-up on the engine, and you have, again, that back pressure that will allow you to have an engine that is a bit more efficient and have that low-end torque at the beginning, right? So using one of these to have more volume out of the exhaust is a little bit of a placebo effect. Yes, you will have a bit more volume if you open up the valve with one of these, but only at lower RPMs. Which actually, in my opinion, is a little bit counter-effective, because when you're just cruising, you're doing nothing, you're just going around town and everything, yes, the exhaust might be a little bit louder, but that's not where you want the exhaust to be louder. You want the exhaust to be louder, have more character, be more exciting when you're actually ripping through the twisties, you know, having a bit more of an exciting ride. And in that case, the valve will be open anyways. So this will make no difference whatsoever when you actually wanted to make a difference, right? Again, this is my opinion. It's a little bit of a fact as well. I mean, if you look at the records, but a lot of people have removed the baffle. A lot of people have installed one of these and they're delighted. They say that is the best thing. In my case, just looking at the facts and having done it myself, I don't think it makes enough of a difference to make either the investment on one of these or to spend all the time and effort to remove the baffle. So in conclusion, if removing the cone or baffle makes little to no difference, and the Healtech ESE is definitely not meant to be doing what people think that it will do to improve the sound or anything like that, what do you do if you want to get a better sound? You replace the baffle, right? You get another one. In my case, I have the HP Corsa Titanium, not a sponsor or anything like that. They did send me this one to test, and you can see the video on my playlist. I'll definitely link it down below. But one of these or any of the other popular brands like ESE Project, Leo Vinci, Jekyll & Hyde, there's quite a few that are, you know, tested and proven by people that they do make quite a bit of a difference without being absolutely deafening and super loud, right? Because again, I do use my bike for mostly cruising. I do try to get a little bit more exciting on the twists, stuff like that, right? And enjoy a little bit of a sound. So something like that will give you kind of the best of both worlds. Cruise at highway speeds without having a drone or anything like that, right? But when you get a little bit exciting, you get a little bit of a pop with downshift, stuff like that, right? If you're thinking about speccing the Akra, just make sure that you know exactly what you're getting. It's just not for me on my application what I actually wanted to get out of the exhaust. So there you have, folks. Hopefully now you have all the facts to make your own decision to see if you want to go down the rabbit hole of removing baffles and installing ESE eliminators and all that kind of jazz, right? or if you want to go a different route. So then maybe avoid all the hype on the internet or doing all that kind of jazz and then be disappointed like I was, right? But again, you have all the facts now, you make your own decision to see if this is worth it or not. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Make sure that you share, subscribe, and of course, make sure that you tune in on the giveaway that we have going on at the moment in partnership with Ride and Nav. That's a very exciting one. So make sure that you check out that video and make sure that you participate in order to hopefully get a chance to win one of their devices. So that's it for today, and I'll see you folks on the next one. Thanks.